Welcome to the Savage Productions YouTube channel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got a little update here. As you can see behind me, we've got a intercooler, front-mounted intercooler on a Crown Vic Police Interceptor. This is a 2010 Crown Vic. We've actually done work on this car in the past. So this car, back in the summer, the first thing we did to this car was, the owner, obviously, he loves this car, very comfortable, low mileage, very clean. He wanted it, to be a little faster. So the first thing we did was put a set of 373 gears in it. We did an SCT tuner without a custom tune at the time. We just did the 373 gears so we could change the to the 373 for the speedometer. So he run around on that for a while, and then he brought it back for a full exhaust system and a custom tune. So we ended up doing a stainless works long tubes with full exhaust on this, high flow exhaust. Stainless Works actually has two different mufflers with this kit, and these mufflers, let's see, these are not the straight through. Yeah, actually they are straight through, but they're very mild. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds like a Mustang. You could obviously drive it, enjoy the radio, talk, but man, you can hear it's got a good sound to it, and when you get on it, it does get loud. So anyway, once we did the long tubes and the full exhaust on this car, we did a custom tune. We've got the timing. I think total timing on this was about 27 degrees is where it liked it the most. Got it a good ramp in on the timing and the fuel. So it was pretty quick. I mean, for however much these things weigh, 4,500 pounds or who knows what they weigh, it was pretty quick, let me tell you. So the whole plan was for him to put a supercharger on this. So that's what we ended up, that's why we did the exhaust, the custom tune, and the whole deal. Well, we ended up doing a Vortec VSI kit on this. There's a company that actually does a complete kit for this car. And we purchased the kit from them, but then we bought the head unit and the bracket, the fuel pump, the injectors, and all that, ourselves. Since we're a Vortec Paxton dealer, we was able to get the Vortec and the bracket from them. And then we used a Aeromotive 340 liter per hour pump in the tank. It plugs right in. There's a certain part number there that works on these cars. And we did a one-step coulter NGK spark plugs. Works injectors, I think we went with 60-pound injectors. I'd have to look on the ticket, I don't remember. But yeah, let me turn this camera around so you can get a look at this. Okay, so first of all, as you can see, the intercooler looks really cool, man. Looks really nice. It kind of stinks that it goes up in here. It's not very tall, so it's not hiding a lot of it. It's hiding less than half of it, but it is a really thick intercooler. There's really not much you can do there unless you wanted to drill holes in the bumper up here, which obviously we're not going to do. Then you'd have to drill holes in the bumper cover. But the kit fits very well. I'll go over a few things. I'll go up there and show you the company that we got this from. They're out of California. And as far as I know, this is the only company that actually makes this kit for the Crown Vics. But they utilize, the Vortec equipment, of course. Might even be, I don't know what intercooler that is, but it fits on here very well. So this is the piping with the blow-off valve. We're pretty much done. We just got a couple little things left to do. We've already done the injectors. We've done the spark plugs. Pretty much everything's done on it up here. Still got to put the upper radiator hose back on. Got to put this lid on here. There's a lid that goes on there, kind of cool. We're running into an issue here. This really should have been welded up a little higher or over here. It came with a straight nipple that screws in. I'm gonna have to go get a 90 for it. And then also right here, where it goes into the valve cover, it's too close. So we're gonna pop that back in. I'm gonna put a 90 hose, and we're gonna run it right around here and then 90 into that. That's just for the, the crankcase ventilation. Honestly, we could just put breathers on it, but we don't want to smell no fumes. I talked to him about putting a catch can out up underneath the front and running hoses to it, but we're just going to keep it like that for now. You have to relocate the power steering bracket they've got this little piece added on here. And you have to do that. Just do a little modification down there to the lower radiator hose. I mean, really, that's about it. It really wasn't a bad deal at all. Kit comes with an SCT mass airflow sensor because the stock one just won't keep up. It pegs out with the amount of boost it has. So let me see. I believe that's about it. Now we are doing a set of gauges on this thing. You got to have gauges, right, when you run boost. So let me find them over here. We're going to do 3 gauges. All of them are AEM. One's going to be a boost gauge, electric boost gauge. One's going to be a wideband AFR gauge. And then the other one is an OBD2 gauge. Basically going to plug right into the OBD2 port, and it will show all the parameters of the ECU. Everything from air intake temp to oil pressure, fuel pressure, because it does have a fuel pressure sensor on these cars. Whatever he wants to see. They don't really make a pod for the pillar, and he didn't really want one on there anyway. So what we went with was an altimeter makes it. It basically sits like that. It's got a bottom part to it for mounting. And it has this cool little thing here. That's going to be sitting inside it. It's just going to be sitting inside that. So that's going to look pretty cool. We could mount it on the floor or whatever. He wants it mounted on the dash. Let me show you the company. If anybody out there wants to do a Crown Vic, or Grand Marquis, Mercury Marauder. This is the company that they specialize in this. So it's called ADTR.net. Chris Adams is his name. They're out of California. They sell the complete kit. Head unit, bracket, everything. But he was nice enough to sell us the kit without the supercharger head unit, without the fuel pump, the injectors, because I can obviously get that cheaper. So that was really nice of him. I appreciate that, man. So if we do any more of these, which I'm hoping we will, we do have another one that is very interested. It's a friend of this guy's, and he's got a real nice one. He actually bought that one from California and had it transported here. And it was a... let's see, it was a detective car, and it's actually a gray one. It's a dark gray, 40-something thousand miles. Man, it is perfect condition. Really nice car. And he actually bought it and had it shipped here. And he is interested in doing something to it, to make it faster. But I think he's waiting to see what this one's all about, get this one done. But anyway, we're going to do a custom tune on it. It's this one's got a 3.33 pulley. I believe on the V3SIs, I believe they pull 8 pounds of boost. So this is not a super RPM motor. We had it when we had it tuned NA. We had it shifting at about 55, 5600. Seemed like any more than that, it just laid over because it's not, they don't have the cams for it. So it's probably going to pull faster than that, or up higher than that now with boost, but I believe we're going to keep it around the same RPM. We don't want to sling rods out of it. These motors basically are good for 450 wheel. That's about all you want to put to them. That's probably a little more than you should. I know the company that sells this kit, the one I was just showing you in there, they keep them at under 400 wheel. When they do them and they tune them, I think he told me they were somewhere around 475, 480 wheel. I'm sorry, 375, 380 wheel, I believe is what he says they like to keep them at. So I've had these two valves at 450 wheel before, never had an issue with them. But being a heavier car, it might be a good idea to, keep it under that, because you got to think, if we throw it at 450 wheel, it's a heavy car, it might be a little bit hard on the rods on this thing. So, but it does have 373 gears. So it gets up and goes pretty quick. So I would say it's going to be a sleeper for sure. My plan was to take this thing for a ride after we get it tuned and include it in this video. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this video up now, show you the final product on this thing, and then we're gonna come back with a part 2 on this once we get some data logging going on and get the final drive, because that alone will probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. So we can show you what this sleeper is all about. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's unique. A lot of people ask, why the heck would he spend the money on putting a supercharger on an old police Interceptor? Well, something different. He likes the car. It rides really good. It's comfortable. It handles good since it's got the police Interceptor package suspension on it. And it's just something different, So anyway, I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see the finished product. All right, so yeah, actually, if any of you guys don't know, this is a suite that we took over next door. We actually had to do a complete demo. This is about 1,500 square foot total. It's about 1,300 square foot of shop space. The rest is office up front, or we're going to be using that for storage. For some parts and stuff for the builds. We still have to finish painting. As you can see, the walls, this thing had complete drop ceiling all the way through the front, all the way to the back. I just thought I'd include that in this video. As you can see, these are all the drop lights and doors and stuff. We got them listed on the marketplace and Craigslist. If you guys know anybody who wants any lights or a couple of doors, tell them to hit me up. They can either call us or message us. But anyway, we still got some work to do. We got all the carpet pulled. We got to grind the glue off the floor. We've already been working in here. As you can see, we had one of our commercial accounts in here doing some work yesterday. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We once we get the walls painted, it's gonna be nice in here. It was a lot of work, man, tearing this thing apart. We got a little kitchenette there. We're gonna put our microwave there and refrigerator underneath. That'll give us some room. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, back to the car here. So we've got, as you can see, the intercooler kind of peeking out on the bottom. Kind of cool. See the piping in there? It's all 3-inch piping. Very, very nice fitment, man. This thing that just fits perfect. That's the air filter box. It's got a K&N in there. That's the inlet pipe. You've got stock throttle body. Got the piping coming up with an SCT mass airflow sensor. Basically goes down, comes out on the driver's side. That's where it's, coming out of the intercooler down in there. Then you've got the pipe coming out of the blower. It comes around on the passenger side. Let's see if we can get in there. Kind of hard to see. You can see it right there. But what's cool is it's all one pipe. This pipe here basically comes down, goes into a straight coupler. And then that pipe on the bottom is a continuous pipe. It comes all the way around. It's got a nice bend to it, and then it's a straight coupler into the intercooler. And same on the other side, except that pipe, it comes around and it's one continuous pipe. I only got a coupler right there at the blower, so really good fitment on this deal. The blow-off valve is on the passenger side down there after the intercooler, and this is the fitting that came in the kit. It's a nice commercial grade fitting. Don't have to worry about the cheap plastic ones breaking. This is plastic, but it's a nice piece, and it comes with this hose that goes down there. A little modification on the PCV valve so you don't get boost pushing back into the motor. And then this one is the boost gauge reference. I used a brass T on there, and it goes into the sensor. It's an electric gauge, and I'll show you all the gauges. He wanted the gauges sitting right in front of him. So let me show you what we got going on there. So personally, I would like the gauges to be over here in the center of the dash. You know, I think that would have been cool, but he wanted them right here in front of him. It really doesn't look bad. We're using the AEM boost gauge, OBD2 gauge. That'll plug right into the OBD2 port. You can see all the parameters of the stock computer. Whichever ones you want, you can kind of go through them. It even has, I believe you can even see the tack. You can get a shift light and everything on it. Maybe that's why he wanted it in front of him. Might use it as a shift light. And then we have a wideband, AFR wideband. We had to have that on there. So that's all secured on there really well. It did come with a double-sided tape Velcro, but you know that wouldn't have lasted. So he told us that go ahead and put a hole in his dash, which I kind of hated to do, but we pulled this bezel out and was able to drill a hole down through the bottom bracket here. We secured it really nice, didn't over tighten it, and we was able to put all this back in. That way you don't see any holes or anything there. And then instead of drilling any more holes in the dash, we just ran all the lines through that wire loom down into the pillar, and they all disappear under the dash. Can't even see them. So but yeah, it's pretty cool. So as of right now, we are just waiting on the tune. Once we get the tune completely done, we're going to take it for a ride, and we're going to do a part 2 on that deal. Take it for a ride and see how this thing runs, and have some fun with it. So definitely be sure to check out that one when it comes out. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and hit that icon, that bell, so you can get notifications, and like and share the video, and that way you can see part 2 once we get this thing tuned and take it for a ride. Have a little fun with it. So all right, we're going to end it here. So thanks for checking this out, and we will see you on the next one.